Hey guys, welcome to Hmonglish podcast, and today's topic is about a recent mass shooting that happened last Tuesday in Georgia. About 8 people that died, and including 6 Asian women, and like at spa in Atlanta area. How does that make you feel about the incident that happened, and what are your thoughts about the cop that commented about the suspect having a bad day, quote unquote?
I feel like it didn't have to get this far. A massacre didn't have to happen in order to have attention toward Asian Americans. And when the officer who was reporting this saying, oh yeah, the shooter just had a bad day, he just had a sexual addiction and he just had to kill these women because of that. That is some bullshit.
Obviously, it's annoying and it's hurtful and disrespectful, and it's disgusting to see that people are taking these Asian women who are vulnerable and using them as a target just to release whatever anger that they have. And it's not just that one person, it's a whole, there's so many racist people out there targeting vulnerable people, and it's not just Asian people, but we know that Asian people are the people who don't.
We tend to turn the other cheek. We tend not to cause problems. We tend to walk away from things, and we don't like to say anything because that's how we were raised.
So like after I heard everything that was going on, it hurts. It hurts to see that with the history that we've had with also the Black Lives Matter movement and how they're taking these murderers. It's like they don't even care, and the charges that they put on them is like bare minimum. But if it was any other way, it would have been like you have a 7-year sentence or a lifelong sentence for each person.
And I think it's really stupid because, like, I think people during the Black Lives movements, people like were bringing up, oh yeah, but Asians weren't there when the Black Lives movement happened. I didn't see them. I'm just gonna pretend like that nothing happened. I was like, yo, people these days are so ignorant because even though you don't see them like in your area or like you don't see them on the internet, there are still a lot of people that still support Black Lives Matters movement. So, and it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of disappointing to see people degrading others. We should be helping each other. We should be supporting each other, not degrading ourselves, which one's better than the other. Like, we're not trying to compete. We're trying to, like, become a human being and, you know, we, like, help each other out.
Yeah, we're supposed to unify. You know, we're supposed to stand together, be together. We are brothers and sisters all together. We're supposed to stand together. But it's okay. You know, I understand why some Black people are really pissed off that Asians are getting a little spotlight, but that's okay because I know how they feel, right? And I also know how when Black Lives Matter was happening, a lot of Asian people, not all, but a big handful, a lot of Asian Americans did not support that either, especially I don't want to be targeted for here, but then I'm gonna say it. Some Hmong people really just said, like, you know, we were slaves too. We did all this shit too. You're not the only one who is struggling with race shit. So why should we support you? It's like, okay, both of y'all are the problems, okay? If you don't want to come together, then don't ask for other people to help you when you're in trouble.
I mean, like, right now with everything going on and that situation too, where the Black Lives Matter, like people who support them and they're saying that we didn't support them and they aren't going to support us, they're just the same as white supremacists because they're saying that the white people or their race is more important than anybody else's, and it's adding to the problem. You make yourself a racist if you feel like your race is better than other people or more important than other people, and so you're simply adding to the problem. We're all fighting the same war here. That war is racism. So if we could just love one another, because at the end of the day, like what Michelle said, we're all equals, we're all God's children, and if we just love each other and show compassion, we can really fight this battle. We can put it to end.
And I also appreciate all those other people who are supporting Asian Americans, you know, not like I said, not all Black people are gonna support Black people. Not all Asian people are gonna support Asian people. Okay, so I appreciate it, and we're all blessed to actually see people come out and support each other. It just means a lot. So when people don't support you, forget about those bitches. Okay, really appreciate the ones that do stand next to you. So that's why I'm a little humbled when people are like, "Oh yeah, Asians weren't for Black Lives Matters." Like, you can keep crying about that, but I know what's right.
Next topic is, oh my god. Growing up, have you ever dealt with racism stereotypes in your family house, at school, or like at a family gathering, etc.? If so, how did that make you feel? And what are some things you would like to change about that stereotype?
Growing up, I didn't get racially slurred. I grew up in a really nice neighborhood. So I went to school with a lot of diversity, but I didn't have Hmong people. I only had one person who was Hmong, and we're still friends today. So yeah, my school had a lot of diversity. We had Black, Asian, Mexican, all Asians, but except for Hmong people, which was sad. And we had a lot of white people. So yeah, I didn't grow up with racial shit.
I think for me, like I grew up with diversity and I had a lot of home friends, especially in middle school and high school. But I feel like a lot of people still racially stereotyped me because I was super smart. I kind of fit the stereotype. Like I played an instrument and I was doing really well in school and I wanted to advance myself in my education. And so people saw me as this Asian prodigy. So they knew that they could go to me for academic help. And I kind of like how I feel about that is I'm prideful that I am smart and that I am able to help people. But it sucks because I know a lot of my other friends, when they are racially stereotyped too and they can't meet to that standard or to that stereotype, they feel belittled and they feel discouraged. And so especially when I was in elementary school, there was only like one or two of us, like what Michelle said, and it was predominantly white, although we had a mix of like Latinx and Black people. But it really showed, like especially in the classroom, who the teachers' favorites are. That's how I got to know racism when I was younger, because the white kids would always get picked first, right? If they raised their hand, the white people would get picked first. And I give so much credit to my elementary
I don't know. Maybe I grew up a little different because I wouldn't raise my hand and still that bitch will pick on me. Like, what the fuck?
I'm just glad that I grew up in an environment where, yes, there was a lot of diversity, but still I had teachers who had the mindset of white supremacy.
Yeah, definitely when a majority of our teachers were white, which I wish we had more diversity of teachers.
Yeah, growing up, I didn't dealt with the stereotype of racism, but like I knew that because I go to a white school, like I live in a white neighborhood. I know that most of the Asian kids before I went to high school, I heard that they've dealt with a lot of racism because my white school was not really diverse. It was just only a small minimum of Asians, probably like 2% of Asians and maybe 0.5% of Black people. There were like, yeah, it's just like really, really small diversity of like my high school. And so I think one time there was this one kid who was Mika, right? And he posted a picture of like these Asian group of kids in front of my high school. They were just like playing volleyball. I wasn't there. I was there before that kid was there. So I left early, but that Mika kid took a picture of these Asian kids playing volleyball and he posted it on his Snapchat and he said some like really racist comment. I don't remember what he said, but he said something like, go back to where you belong, like go back to Asia or whatever. And the school board had to do something about it. And I thought that was like, I don't know what the school board actually did. I think they didn't really bring that up in like the high school. Like they didn't like announce it. They just like just did it behind the scenes. Yeah, like that's still a big deal because like there was like about 8 group of Asian kids playing volleyball outside of the front of the high school, and I don't know, it was stupid.
Yeah, honestly, the first time I heard that phrase, like "go back to your country," was me and my friend. I won't say her name, but she was Muslim, right? I think Muslim is the religion or something, or She's okay. She's Somalian. She's Somalian. So we're really close. We were close friends. We were going to lunch, and me and her were messing around, talking, and this white boy, okay, this Miga boy who's in front of us, he whispered under his breath, like, "Go back to your country." And then I looked at him, and I looked at her, and she was still like talking to me, like, she didn't hear it. And I was like, "Did you hear what he said?" She was like, "No. What did he say?" I say, "He told you to go back to your country." And she flipped. So me and her, we came to a teacher, and the teacher was Hmong. Okay, I think my teacher then was Hmong. So we went to her, and we're like, "Hey, this kid just told her to go back to her country. Like, this kid is the same age as us." And I was like, "Damn, if this little boy who we were in elementary, okay, it was like fourth grader." So I'm just like, if a little fourth grader knows how to say that, most definitely he got influenced that by his parents. So fuck that family, honestly. So he had a big conversation with
parents' fault,
right? Because kids, they're a mirror image of their parents. So if your parents, if you are racist, your kid's gonna be racist. So yeah, he had to talk to the principal and everything, because the principal was really strict on diversity and keeping our students safe. This is an elementary, remember that, fourth grader. That was the first time I ever heard that, but I knew it was wrong.
Yeah, I'm glad you stood her up. Like, you went to talk to the teacher.
Yeah, like, I don't deal with that shit.
Like, especially fourth grade, damn, dude, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't like understand that, because I'm like, I went to a white school, so like, I didn't know any of that shit.
But yeah, at least we knew that it was bad to say that. Fuck. If he said that now, dude, I swear to God, I will beat his ass up.
You see him in like the future again, he says it the same thing.
In the I don't know if he went to middle school with us or high school, but I think he didn't, because there was so much diversity, so he felt uncomfortable, so he left.
Oh, his color shows. His color
right.
Did you guys like that episode? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. If you guys like our faces and you guys want to hear us more often, turn on the notification bell. We post every single Monday, okay? And if you guys have questions and topics that you guys want to hear on the podcast, send it down below in our description box. We've made a form for you guys to submit questions and topics that you guys want to hear. And other than that, that's Hmonglish. We'll see you later.